Princess Charlotte no longer likes this one sport, and it shows how much she's growing up. The young royal who once charmed the world galloping across polo fields is quietly stepping away from the saddle, and what it reveals about her evolution is raising eyebrows across the monarchy. Princess Charlotte, now 9 years old, appears to be distancing herself from horse riding, the centuries-old royal tradition that has defined British aristocracy for generations. And for a family where equestrian pursuits aren't just hobbies but symbols of duty, heritage, and royal identity, this subtle shift is more significant than it might seem. Here's what's happening, and why royal watchers are paying very close attention. The sport that defined royal childhood. For decades, horse riding has been the cornerstone of royal upbringing. Queen Elizabeth II was famously devoted to her horses until her final days. Princess Anne became an Olympic equestrian. Even Prince George has been photographed taking riding lessons at the family's country estates. Charlotte herself showed early promise. Photos from her younger years captured her at polo matches, sitting confidently on ponies, and learning the basics of equestrianism that every royal child masters. It seemed inevitable that she would follow in her great-grandmother's footsteps. But something has changed. A 9-year-old finding her own path. Recent reports suggest Charlotte's interests have shifted dramatically. Instead of the stables, she's now gravitating toward gymnastics, tennis, and particularly soccer, a sport that reflects a more modern, less traditional royal image. While her brothers continue with conventional royal pursuits, Charlotte is carving out her own identity. And here's where it gets emotionally complex. For Catherine, the Princess of Wales, this represents a delicate balancing act. As a mother, she wants her daughter to explore her passions freely. But as a future queen consort raising a future princess royal, there's an unspoken pressure to maintain certain traditions that bind the monarchy to its heritage. Sources close to the family suggest Catherine is fully supportive of Charlotte's choices, encouraging her to pursue whatever makes her happy. But within royal circles, there's reportedly some concern about what this signals. Is the younger generation drifting too far from the customs that have sustained the monarchy for centuries? The power dynamics at play. This isn't just about a child's hobby preference. Charlotte occupies a unique position as the second-in-line's daughter and the first royal princess in centuries born under new succession laws that don't favor male heirs. Her choices, even at 9 years old, are symbolic. When she rejects horse riding, the Queen's beloved passion, Princess Anne's Olympic achievement, a tradition spanning generations, she's asserting something quietly revolutionary, that royal children can define themselves beyond prescribed expectations. And that makes some traditionalists uncomfortable. Meanwhile, King Charles, who has always advocated for a streamlined, modernized monarchy, may actually view Charlotte's independence favorably. It fits his vision of royals who are relatable, contemporary, and connected to ordinary British life, where children play soccer in parks, not just polo on private estates. Public reaction. Divided and passionate. Social media has erupted with opinions. Some praise Catherine and William for raising normal kids, who aren't forced into aristocratic molds. Let her be a child. Reads one viral tweet. She's not a show pony, literally or figuratively. Others worry about eroding traditions. The royals abandoning horse riding is like Buckingham Palace without guards, one commentator wrote. Some things should be sacred. Royal experts are split too. Some see this as healthy evolution, the monarchy adapting to survive in the 21st century. Others warn that too much modernization risks losing the mystique and heritage that make the royals uniquely compelling. Why this moment actually matters. Here's the deeper truth. Charlotte is part of the generation that will determine whether the monarchy remains relevant in 50 years. Every choice she makes, from her sports to her education to her public persona, becomes a blueprint for what a modern princess looks like. If she can step away from horse riding at 9 and still grow into a respected, beloved royal, it proves the institution can evolve without collapsing. It suggests that duty and individuality aren't mutually exclusive, that you can honor your heritage while writing your own story. But if her choices create friction, resentment, or public criticism, it exposes the monarchy's ongoing struggle to balance tradition with the freedom younger generations increasingly demand. What happens next? The real question royal watchers are asking, is this just a phase, or the beginning of Charlotte charting an entirely different course? Will she return to riding as she matures, recognizing its importance to her role? Or will she continue pursuing her own interests, potentially inspiring other young royals to do the same? And perhaps most intriguingly, how will this affect her relationship with the institution as she grows older? Will she become a reformer like her grandfather Charles, or will she find herself caught between two worlds, never quite fitting the traditional mold but unable to fully escape it? One thing is certain, the world is watching Princess Charlotte's every move, because in her small acts of independence, we're witnessing the future of the British monarchy taking shape. And that future might not include a crowned princess on horseback, and maybe that's exactly the point.